what is happening and see what is happening on the chat button, because I want this to be very, very interactive, very, very interactive. So at least I can see that you can see my slides, right? Then I want it to be very, very interactive. So if you are with me in class, just go on the chat. I am with you in class. I am with you in class. I am with you in class. So I want to know how many people are with me in class. So go on the chat and just say, I am with you in class. I am with you in class. I am with you in class. So I'm waiting. Okay, Karim says with you. You didn't follow my instruction. I said, I am with you in class, but it's okay. I will take that. So Karim says that, yes. Paul, thank you. Abbas said, okay. So does that mean just 3 people? Okay, that's 4. Abisoye says that. Okay, thank you. Thank you. So at least I know 5 people, right? Yes, 5 people are with me in class. So that's a good number to start with. That talks about grace. So it's a recorded one. So others would probably have the opportunity to listen to it. That's the beauty of online. Though, okay, so who is writing on my screen? Who is writing on my screen? Ashaolu, what's happening? I can see Ashaolu pumping up on my screen. Why are you writing on my screen? So do we have any Ashaolu here? Because I can see Ashaolu. Yes, Ashaolu Michael. Why are you writing on my screen?
Ashaolu Michael, please try and check your phone or your gadget.
Yeah. So because you are interfering with my screen, you've defaced my screen. Oh. All right, so we'll be looking at relationships today. And talking about relationships, so we now have, if you can erase these things, I would appreciate it. Now you cause the wahala, now you go solve the problem, or because it has defaced my screen. But if you can't just leave it, we will apologize. It's just that it's recorded, so we'll keep having these screens everywhere, and that's the bad thing.
Can I suggest that you, hello,
yes.
Can I suggest that you stop the share and start the sharing?
Okay, let me see. Let's see if that works. Fantastic, it works. So I learned that today. Fantastic. So we keep learning every day. I didn't know that's a way out. Okay, so I've learned that today. All right, so thank you, Stashalapin. All right, so today we'll be looking at what are the types of relationship. After we have understood what relationship means, we'll be looking at the key relationship drivers, and then of course what fuels it. And then we'll also talk about boundaries, ethics, and etiquette. Some of you will be saying that really in relationship there are boundaries. Oh yes, there are boundaries, and we will look at that today. That's why we are all here to learn. So that's the course objective for today. All right, now, so what is relationship? Who can tell me what relationship means? You can either text, do the WhatsApp message, sorry, what do you call it? Chat on the Zoom platform, or you can unmute your mic and give it to me. What do you think relationship means? What do you think relationship means? I glimpsed through the picking your brain that was sent to you, and I was impressed by some of your thought lines, based on what you have written on the feedback form. So I know what most of you wrote concerning relationships. So please, who is going to give it to me? Like I said, you can chat. Yes, Paul says relationship is a system of advantage used to compensate. Wow, I love this. For the things we don't have. I'm wondering where Paul comes. Anyway, I can relate, because Paul, your DP says Paul science educator. So I can understand where you're coming from. So it says it's a relationship, is looking at it as a system of advantage used to compensate for the things we don't have. Thank you. Charles says it's a connection between people. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, both your understanding and the way you have crafted it, I mean, it's good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It talks about connections. It talks about how we are associated and how we are involved. That is why Paul could say it's a relationship of an advantage and compensation. Karim says it is the fact of collaborating with others. Fantastic, lovely, lovely. You guys are smart. You guys are smart. Thank you so much for that. So we have an idea of what relationship means. So we've talked about connection, we've talked about association, we've talked also about collaboration, and then we've also talked about give and take. That is where Paul was able to say there's an advantage of compensating for the things you do not have. So somebody has, somebody does not have, and then of course both of you, are related, that what you don't have, this person gives it to you. So it's also like the Cambridge Dictionary says, it's the way people feel and behave towards another. So within it, there is a little bit of behavior. There's a little bit of transaction that is going on, because when you are connected, when you're associated, there is a give and take thing. So absolutely, we all have an idea. Okay, Oluwatobi says she's having issues with the audio. Okay, Sister Shalakwe has sorted that one out. So the importance of relationship. Now, because you have an idea of what it is, I want you either use the chat room or you want to speak. I want you to mention one or two things that could have happened to you, if not that you were in a relationship. Now, relationship, look at it from a broad angle, not I love you relationship. You understand the hand, boyfriend, girlfriend, fancy relationship. It could also be that as well, but I want you to just be broad about it. Loneliness. Wow, I love that. Loneliness. Yes. Can we have others? Something that I will have been jobless. It says life would be very boring. And honestly, life will be very, very boring. Thank you for doing that. Thank you so much. So you can see that relationships are very important. You can imagine if there is nobody to relate with, there's nobody to collaborate with, there's nobody, you're just on your own. You can see the boredomness that will happen. You can see the loneliness that will happen. In fact, you yourself, you will not even feel good about yourself. All right, okay, so let's also do another exercise. Like I said, list, but it's okay. If I have more, it's fine. So what do you think? What are the things you have enjoyed from a relationship? Yes, it says, if not for relationship, I would have been a smoker. Can you imagine? Fantastic. I love that. If not for relationship, I would have been a smoker. So one of the things Oluwatobiloba has enjoyed in a relationship is keeping him or her, I don't know now, him or her now, from smoking. So can we list other things that we have enjoyed from a relationship? Let's list other things that we have enjoyed from the relationship. I can tell you that from my own relationship, I've enjoyed knowledge, capacity building, the places that I have, like they read my CV, most of those things, I got them from relationship. Self-discovery, fantastic. I love that. Love that. Yes, I'm waiting for more. I'm waiting for more. Come on, let's do it. Except if you are telling me that you have not enjoyed anything from the relationship. Education, fantastic. Thank you so much. So you can see, Paul says loyalty, pleasure, companionship, wisdom, and exposure. Fantastic. You guys are doing great. I love this class. There's a whole lot of energy. So what we're saying is that relationship is very, very important. Because look at all the things you have benefited. And if not for the relationship, look at the things that you had missed and you are enjoying. So relationship is very important. And I always love mental exposure. Wow, Abba said it. That is very, very key. Mental exposure, very, very key. Education. Ibrahim says the willingness to walk through difficulties and disagreement. Wow, lovely, lovely, lovely. I love all these things. Yeah, so let us look at it from the beginning. We all know, irrespective of our religious biases, every religion believes that we are all created by God. So relationship is created by God. And that is why I might be quoting one or two scriptures from the Bible, because where I come from, my own mindset, I know that yes, the Bible is the book that was given to me, that was written in love to me by God who created me. And I also see the Bible as a life manual. I was intrigued with the fact that most of the great people that we talk about today, even Indira Gandhi, even the likes of Lee Kuan Yew, that, I mean, they seem to be very far away from Christianity. They actually read the Bible. They actually read the Bible. And of course, some great men, from other religions, because they found out that it's full of life lessons. So it is from that we are coming in today, that see it as a manual for your life that God has created for you. And for some of us that come from the Christian faith, that is our love letter from God. All right, so Genesis 2:8 says, God said it's not good. So I'm reading from what do you call it, the Message Bible. I love that. It's very simple. It says, God said it's not good for man to be alone. I'll make him a helper and a companion. Helper in anything. Like you have said, look at all the benefits that you have enjoyed. Somebody came to help you. As a companion, look at all the things that, the person had given to you because you are in association with that person. So as humans, relationships that we form with other people are very vital for our mental. And that was why I gave a thumbs up to Abosede, talking about mental exposure. I know a lot of youths, because I've looked at your profile, a lot of you are in the youth bracket. Some of you, in fact, majority of you have scaled through the OND, HND, some are in BSc, some doing masters, and then we have a couple of you that are done with your SSC. So I have an idea of your age brand. A lot of your age bracket, they are down, depression. Some of them have even committed suicide. They have committed suicide. Why? Because of relationships. It is very vital to our mental and emotional being and our survival. So, like my dear moderator has said, honestly, if you understand relationship from the currency aspect, you cannot survive in Nigeria without spending. Look at what happened during the Naira cash crunch. I don't know how many, if not for time, I would have said, let's talk about one or two of our experiences. It happened to me that I could not even go out. I could not even go out. Anywhere that I want to go out, that I cannot take my car or I cannot take Uber, forget it, I won't go. And there are some places that I want to go that I don't want to go with the car and I don't want to go with an Uber. If Uber will not even go there, you understand? And I do not want to go with my car, because the road is bad and things like that. So I have to go with a commercial bus. So such places, I just could not. I could not. And there was a particular place that I had to be. I had to apologize to that person that I'm sorry, I cannot come because of the state of your road and I do not have cash. Despite the fact that I had money in my bank account, I did not have that cash to give Okada or to give boss. So it was really, really that bad as at that time. So relationship is what we spend, is the currency we spend. So it can mar you and it can make you, just like money. Money can destroy you and money can actually make you successful, depending on how you handle it and depending on the relationship that you keep. So in relationships, we pray about destiny helpers. Now, I put doers there, those that will do things for you. I put donors there, those that will donate things for you. I put door openers. There are people that they will not give you anything, but they will open the door. But look at it, fundamentally, why everybody is doing this is because of the relationship you've had with them, one way or the other. So briefly, I just want to talk about love relationships, types of love relationships. I won't go into all, but I'll just pick maybe 4 out of our 8, the ones that relate to what we are doing here now. We talked about philia. Philia is just that affectionate love, that love that you have, brotherly love. You have respect for one another, and then of course you are attracted to one another, but there's nothing romantic about it, the brotherly love and all that. Now, pragma love, this is the one that exists between couples. They have fell in love with one another, though we will not say they will not fall in love, because normally they'll say if you fall in love, you fall out of love. So it's more of you are standing in love with one another, your love is growing, and then there's commitment and there's dedication. And then we have what we call the storge. The storge, that is the one that is in the family, the love between parents and children, it's sacrificial sort of, that when a baby is crying somewhere, the mother knows, there is that instinct that something is wrong with my baby, something is wrong with my child, even you yourself, mommy is not feeling fine, the way I'm looking at mommy, so these are deep emotional connection, and then of course we have the filial type, which that talks about self-love. So it could be negative, it could be positive, but I want to appeal to us that we should have that positive self-love. That negative self-love is when you are selfish. You love yourself to the fact that you don't care about any other person around you. But we're talking about a positive self-love, that you love your body, just like Daniel. Daniel loved his body, and because he knew who he was a Jew, and he knows he cannot begin to eat, the Babylonian food, so he loved his body to the extent that he knows that, okay, this is what is good for me. And look at the outcome, that even out of everyone there, he still had the wisdom, he still had the knowledge and all that. So when I talk about self-love, it's that love that you know about yourself, how you feel about yourself. This is where self-esteem comes in. This is where, your self-confidence comes in. You know what is good for you. You have tendency, when you eat a lot of garbage, you have the tendency of adding weight, and you do not want that. Self-love also has to do with the fact that, oh, I need to study, because I want to pass my exam. Self-love will tell you that you need to study because you need to pass your exam. So anything that has to do with you, outside of being selfish, so that is philia. So the reason why we stopped at this point is just for you to have an idea of the types of love. There are other types. There is the eros type, there is the mania type. That one is obsessive. That is the one that when you are in an obsessive relationship, we'll get to that when we come to toxic relationship, that it can destroy. But we pray that we will not get into that at all. And then, of course, the last one that I want to talk about is the agape love, which we all know. That's the sacrificial love, the selfless love, the unconditional love, that you are ready to give and give and give and give, and you are not even ready to, you will not get to the point where you say, but I've been giving, and this one, he has not even been given to me. That kind of love that Jesus came to die for us on the cross of Calvary. All right, so let's go to the forms of relationship. The first one is the relationship with God that you must have. As long as you are a created being, irrespective of your religious biases, there is a relationship you must have with God. And I always look at this, while I was going through this slide this morning, I remembered, that particular passage in the Bible that they said, oh, Jesus, we have been preaching in your name. We have been doing miracles in your name. And what did Jesus Christ say? He said, get thee behind me. I don't know you. That means I don't have any relationship with you. I don't know you. Yes, you can use the name of Jesus to do anything. You understand? You can use the name of God to do anything. But do you really have a relationship with God? You understand? I can talk about Obama, because I've read his books. But does Obama know me? You understand? Does Buhari know me? You understand? So I don't have any relationship. They don't even know me, but I can tell them, I can say about them everything that they do because I've read about them. I mean, people that know them have talked to me about it and all that. But when they see me, will they be recognized to say that this is Bukola Femi-Ajala? I have a relationship with her. And that's what we are talking about when we talk about having a personal relationship with God. I want to admonish us here, peradventure we haven't, that it's the best time now to have a personal relationship with God. And like I said, this love letter is the Bible. Let's get close to the Bible. Let's get close to the Bible. Okay, another relationship we can have is with our family members. There's nobody that dropped from heaven. Everybody has a family. You understand? So that's another kind of relationship. The relationship we have with your friends, there are all kinds of friends, and we'll get to that. You have relationship with all kinds. There are some people you say, I have a relationship, but I'm not that close. Like somebody was asking me to do one or two things with somebody, and I was saying that, you know what, I'm really not that close to that person. Yes, it's possible. And I want you to look at this slide. Everybody starts as a stranger. Now, this talks about the friendship pyramid. Everybody starts as a stranger. You meet somebody today, you don't know anything about that person, but you're just strangers. That's the lowest level of a friendship pyramid, Then gradually, you move to acquaintance. Now, acquaintance is, okay, you just meet occasionally. Maybe you stay on the same street, you just meet, or probably you meet in the market. You just greet, hi, 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 and that's all. And then gradually you now begin to have them as casual friends. Oh, you probably meet at the club, or you meet in church, you talk about it, or you talk 30 minutes on the call, getting to know them a little bit. You now begin to understand their little interest. And at times you can now understand that, oh, this guy loves to play ball. Oh, this guy loves to do snookers. This guy likes fashion, then you begin to have common interest, and then you begin to build that interest. So from casual friends, some people now move into close friends. That's when you talk about, oh, she's my close friend. Now, when you begin to get to that point, you begin to share similar values, your ideas, you share your dreams with them, you just feel a little bit of connection, but you haven't gotten to the stage of being intimate. When you're now intimate, it means that you are now committed to the development of one another. Intimacy now happens. I mean, a very typical example of intimacy is when you have healthy couples. Hear me, healthy couples, or healthy people that are engaged. They are there to see that the other person develops, the dreams, the passion of the other person. They are there to ensure that these things materialize. They have mutual responsibility for one another. That is when you get to intimate friends. So both intimate friends, close friends, you talk about them as your inner circle. And those are the ones that you should be careful about, because these ones are the ones that you are connected to in terms of your values, your dreams, and all that. You cannot share your passion with a stranger. You cannot share your dreams, your ideas with a casual friend. They're not there. There's no commitment. So some of you will have to go back and begin to assess all your friends. Who is this one? Is this friend a close friend? Is this friend an acquaintance? And put them in their proper perspective. Then your inner circle are the ones that you will now have to really, really take note for. There are some that are strangers now that you have to build that relationship to be intimate. And there are some that are intimate friends now that you will have to drop to acquaintance. We will explain that as we go on. So these are the lovebirds. You know, I know some of you have, I mean, there are lovebirds in the house. It's another form of relationship. We have business partners. I mean, some of you are in business, some of you want to go into business. So you have relationship, business relationship, colleagues, your schoolmates, mentors and coaches. At least I think I cited somebody who says, I want to have a mentor in my life, you know. So these are all forms of relationship. And then we also have other forms of relationship, the one you have with your teacher, the one you have, some of you network, you know, some of you have, I mean, you are religious, either in the mosque or in the church, you know, some of you have team members, you know, all kinds, wherever you have human beings. I mean, there is a relationship. So you really need to know what this relationship is all about. So now we are going deeper. How does this relationship affect my success in life? I will keep drumming this into your ears. Relationship is the currency you spend. And you see, if you want to be successful in life, you need to know how to play your game well. Now, this slide talks about the fact that relationship, which I've mentioned earlier, will either break you or mar you. There is nothing as being neutral or sitting under the fence or sitting on the fence. The fence can give way and you die. So it is either you are in or you are out. So people either inspire you to greatness or pull you down into the gutters. It's that simple. So if you do not want to be pulled down into the gutter, then you need to take your relationship very, very serious. Now, I have these 3 quotes, and I know that some of us must have heard about it. You know, it talks about you are the average of your 5 friends. The 5 friends you spend most of your time with. And that was why I said, watch out for your intimate friends and your close friends. Those are your inner circle. Watch out for them. After today, look at what those inner circles are doing. You will be amazed that if your inner circle of friends are going the way of destruction, I can tell you, you also are going there. But if your inner circle are going in the way of success, I can tell you that, yes, they are actually, you are also going in the area of success. If you want to, yes, we have someone from Burkina Faso. Okay, yes, you may want to let him know that, okay, that's fine. I understand we have somebody from Burkina Faso. Okay, yes. So some of the examples I've been using, you know, they could be there. Some of them are Nigerian, you know, but I will talk African. And I know that some of the examples that we have here, you know, also has to do with that, because, you know, we're all Africans. So thank you, Stashalakwe, for doing for letting me know that. Thank you for that. So you are also free to put in your chat, put in your thoughts, you understand, you know, because I want to work within my time. So you are free to put in your thoughts as well on the chat. I will pick it up from there. So I know that when you were growing up, just like when I was also growing up, you know, my older people would tell me that, show me your friends and I will tell you your future. And it's true. When you begin to move with some certain people that your values do not align with, their own values do not align with your own values, somewhere along the line, it will rub off. It will rub off because you are one out of maybe 5 or 4 of them. So they have a higher percentage of influencing you. And you must have heard that they say your network is your net worth. And it's true. Your network is your net worth. What does that mean? Look at this, your inner circle. Your inner circle. At a particular point in time in my business journey, I realized that I was having some financial challenges. That was maybe about 10 years ago, thereabout. And after I passed through it and I was able to overcome it, I had to sit down and I said, Buki, who are your inner circle in terms of business? And honestly, I searched, I did not see. I searched, I did not see. I only had friends in church, friends in church in the house, that I would just say, hi, how are you? And they say, I'm fine. Hey, you are sick. Hey, okay, I'll come and greet you and all that and all that. I did not have any inner circle concerning business in terms of that I could call them to say, I want to take a bank loan. What do you think? Should I take it? Or are there other alternatives for me? I did not see. And that was why I took some strategic decisions and it bounced back on me. So now I know better. I am deliberate in my inner circle. You know, when it comes to businesses, I know the people I can go and meet because I have built a relationship on that. And then, of course, when it comes to spiritual matters there. So you don't really have to have the same people, you know, when you talk about inner circle for different focuses. And you can also have, you understand, it depends on what you want. All right, so like I said, be the master of your game. There are principles, just like there are principles when you want to play, you know, your Ludo, or you want to play your Scrabble or whatever it is, you know, there are principles that guide the game. So you need to understand the principles that guide relationships. When you want to have a relationship, whatever relationship now, it's not just about love, my boyfriend, my girlfriend. No, relationship. And that was why we started from all the forms of relationship. You must be deliberate, you must be intentional. And then you must know how to make good choices. But I can tell you, if you are not with the master, if you are not with God, it's a 50-50 chance. And that is why I say that when you are running, it's like you have a half tank in your car and you are saying that this half tank will take you to where you are. No, it's half tank, it will not take you. It will stop at the middle of the journey, except you fuel it. You know, and of course, Proverbs 13:20, you can write it down so I can read about it. It says, become wise by walking with the wise. Hang out with fools and watch your life fall to pieces. And it's true. Someone said that you must always read one Proverbs a day because it will guide you in your life. There are 31 Proverbs. So you have it for 31 days, you know. And so this is one. It says, if you hang out with fools, watch out, your life will fall to pieces, you know. And then it talks about Proverbs 22:24 talks about don't hang out with angry people. Don't even keep company with them because you can be infected. So relationship with God is very key. And why is it very key? I purposely picked up this picture of the compass. You can see how big a ship is. What is navigating that ship is that small compass. If the captain does not look through that compass, the ship is going to go off. So that compass is that relationship we're talking about with God. And you can actually get it from the Bible when you are close, you know, to reading what the Bible has for you every day. Your relationship with God is key. It is the foundation, irrespective of wherever you want to be. Look at this tallest building in Dubai. The foundation was very, very strong. It had deep foundation, and that is why this building can stand tall. So irrespective of whatever relationship you want to have, your foundation has to be strong and appropriate, which has to be with God. And I put all these funny cars because, you know, youth, they love cars and things like that, you know. But you see, if you have one of these cars and you don't know anything about its tires, anything about its the type of oil, and then the type of fuel to use and things like that, you can only get it when you look at the manufacturer's guide. The manufacturer's guide for us is the Bible. That is the manual. So once somebody has that, we are sure that you are okay. Then have direction for your life. Have direction for your life. You can imagine you and your friend, you met at the train station. He is going into train 1. He's going into train 1. And you started talking, blah, 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 blah. Before you know what is happening, because you don't even know where you are going. You don't know you are supposed to follow train 3. You are going to Sokoto. Your friend is going to Kafancha. Because you don't have any direction for your life. You just say, okay, you are following your friend. And you enter train 1. Some of us do that because we have not sat down to say, okay, who am I? What do I really want? Can I even define all the relationships I want to have in terms of my relationship at work, in terms of my relationship with my coach or with my mentor, my relationship with God, my relationship even with my friends, even the relationship I want to have with my spouse or with my boyfriend or with my girlfriend or whatever it is. You know, have you sorry about that. I forgot to, okay, all right. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you.
Yeah. So a call was coming. All right. Okay. So like I was saying, have direction for your life. So in knowing the nitty-gritty of how to do things, all of us use phones. You know, there's type A, there's type B, there's type C charger. I use a phone with a type C charger. There was somebody that wanted to use my charger to charge. You know, I have one big power bank and, you know, it's a type C, you know, and then I had my cord, it was type C. So he didn't have his own cord and he wanted to charge. And he just said, thank God you have a power bank. Oh yeah, let me charge. Give me your cord. And by the time he looked at the cord, his own phone would use a cord B. So he could not charge. And that's the same thing with relationships and your connections. Even when you want to collaborate, you must be able to connect with one another. If you do not connect with one another, it will not work. Just like she needed to recharge her phone, but she didn't have the right cord. So in life, in your relationship, whatever your relationship is, if you do not have the right cord, you cannot get anywhere. And that is why I said all of us will have to go back and review. Apart from the feedback form, there's an extra activity sheet that will be sent to you. You don't need to submit that extra one. It's the feedback you will submit. But that extra one, look at it when you are alone and talk to yourself. Walk through those activity sheets because it's deep. It will make you begin to assess all your friends, who they are, what are they to you, are they okay, are they not okay? So when you talk about connectors and binders, what makes you to be connected? You need to be self-aware. You need to be self-aware. Who exactly am I? And what do I want? You must have a purpose for your life. You must be able to come up with your values. What am I giving in this relationship? What am I taking from this relationship? Who else is benefiting? The mothers will say, even if I don't have all the things from my husband, at least my children are here. They are benefiting, you know, the fatherly love. You understand? So in your own relationship, you need to come, you know, to that realization that who is benefiting? If the person who is benefiting has nothing to do with you, then why are you still in the relationship? Except when you want to demonstrate, probably God has placed you in a place where you have to give agape love, where you are giving these things and you are not there to say, what am I getting back? There are some relationships like that. just like a relationship of a teacher and the students. A teacher will give. The students are not there to give back. So you have to look at the relationships you have and understand what this whole relationship is all about. And then, of course, what are the consequences and the chances? And then you also need to look at your family background. Now, factors needed for making a good relationship. Like I put the picture, I love talking in pictures so that when you remember the picture, you remember what I said. If you want to make cake, if you want to bake cake, you cannot mix sand and egg and cement and say you want to make cake. It's not possible. It will not work. If you want to bake cake, you've got to mix the flour, the sugar, the butter, eggs, mix it in the proper way, and then put it in the oven, and then you have your cake. So the factors that you need for good relationship, I've listed all these things, maybe what I can do, I can probably the key slides, put it together and probably send it to Sister Sholakwe because we can't run through all this because of our time. But let me pick some. Trust, honesty, individuality, good communication, anger control. Of recent, somebody had issues with her fiancé. Why? Anger control, problem solving skills, appreciation, do we have empathy? Do we have good listening skills? And then of course, the God factor. So when you are making a wrong relationship, you should know. You can see that this picture talks about, the ingredients of making a soup. You cannot mix all these ingredients and say you are going to have a cake. It's not possible. So when you are in a relationship and you see that you are controlling, you are the one that is controlling that person, you are hostile, you are ill-mannered, you are dishonest, you are disrespectful, you intimidate, all forms of abuse, verbal abuse, sexual abuse, emotional abuse, wrong purpose. You are in the relationship for the wrong purpose. You have a mismatched values. Then you are making a wrong relationship. So if you want to ask questions, please feel free. I will check it on the WhatsApp. Though I know we still have 15 minutes to ask questions, but just in case something just comes up, while I'm rounding up, because I'm rounding up now. Okay, so how do we fuel relationships? Just like you're on a journey, your tank is running dry. So what do? You stop at a petrol station to fill up. So relationships need to be fueled. Relationships need to be fueled. You need trust. You need communication, lifestyle, honesty, growth mindset, listening skills. You should not be judgmental. You should have respect for one another. You should have time for one another, irrespective of the form of relationship. There was a particular activity that we did for a school, in the institute that I belong. And one of the things, after going through, the course, one of the things we told the people to do, which you will also do, that, okay, what are the things that you are going to start doing? One of the things the boy said is that I'm going to be spending time with my family. He realized that he doesn't like to spend time with his family. So you need to spend time on relationship. See it as a seed. You've got to cultivate it. You understand, and engage in healthy activities, and then you develop and you grow spiritually. Respect boundaries. People don't know that there are boundaries. You should respect boundaries, and then you should know how to resolve conflicts. And then a lot of us that we probably go through trauma or emotional stress, or we feel that, in terms of our mental health, because of the things you have experienced, it's very critical. Please, if you know you have some mental stress, you know, that you feel depressed, you feel emotionally drained, and you need to talk to somebody, please reach out to the organizer of this so that they can help you. Because really, somebody who is depressed, who has mental stress, you know, because of the experiences, you know, some people have been raped, you know, some people have been in an abusive relationship, so there's no self-esteem anymore. Some people, you know, probably because of the way they grew up, you know, they have told them you cannot amount to anything, and that thing is ringing in their brain, you know, and then you now want to enter into a relationship. No, you need to heal first. You need to heal first, you know, because like there was a particular case, this woman, you know, but they are healed now. You know, the man came from a family where the mother was promiscuous. So he grew up that every woman is promiscuous. So the wife was a banker. He never gave his wife chance. If the wife gets late, he believes that the wife has gone to do whatever she needed to do. So it was a big issue that it became a fight, you know, it affected the children. Why? Because of what that man suffered when he was young. So that's why I'm saying that you need all these things. Like I said, see it as a seed. It's whatever you sow that you reap. You know, so these are some quotes. I love the one Michelle Obama says. He said, choose people who will lift you up, you know, and then do not assume relationships. You know, they could be termites, so do not assume things in relationship. That is where communication comes in. So are there boundaries and etiquettes, you know, in relationship? Do we have manners that we need to go with when we're having relationships? And like I said, any form of relationship, any form, you must respect your friends and appreciate them. Forgiveness is key. You must always seek forgiveness, even when you screw up or you mess up. You must avoid misunderstanding. I want all of you to go online and read about the growth and the fixed mindset. There are two mindsets. There's a fixed mindset and there's a growth mindset. So I want you to do an extra reading. All of you must have a growth mindset. We tend to be fixed. Oh, I cannot do this. I cannot do this. I cannot do this. That's fixed. But a growth mindset will say, yes, I will do it. I will do it. I can do it. So don't talk behind your friend's back. Gossip, and don't talk down on them. Be thoughtful and be generous. Still talking about boundaries. Speak with integrity. Respect people's spaces and their stuff. Do you know that it is very wrong of you to carry your friend's phone and be checking her pictures? If your friend has not given you her phone to check her pictures, you don't have any right. You are infringing on her space. Do you even know that is very wrong? We all do it. You know, you're at a party, you have video your friends, and the next thing is that you are putting it on social media. You did not ask your friends, I want to post though. Do you mind? You know, do the right thing always. Walk away from what is not working. Toxic relationships. Toxic relationships. So, are you in a toxic relationship? I'm done with boundaries, you know. Toxic relationships. So, some of you will say, what does toxic relationship means? Any relationship that you are in and you feel unsupported, you feel misunderstood, you feel that you are attacked, your self-esteem is no longer there. You do not feel yourself. You know, something is wrong somewhere. You're not just happy. It's likely you are in a toxic relationship. And you don't ever have to feel guilty when you are walking away from a toxic relationship. You don't. It could be a relative, it could be romantic, it could be employer, or whatever it is, even a childhood friend. But that relationship, it makes you feel you don't have worth. It makes you feel that you are less a human being. You know, nothing is there that is making you happy. You have lost your self-esteem, you have lost your self-confidence. You know, that is telling you that you are in a toxic relationship. Let's look at some examples of toxic relationship. And I think this is where we are getting closer to to the last, because I'm supposed to stop in the next 2 to 3 minutes. Some of the signs of a toxic relationship is draining. It's all about them. They are not supportive. They lack trust and communication. You understand? It's all take. They're not given. Excessive jealousy. It brings the worst out of you. It brings that animalistic behavior out of you. You want to hit. You want to do this. Yeah. And then it's always bringing up your past and it's always judging you. And they are all controlling. They always love to control you. They are selfish. Everything is about them. They don't care about your feelings. It's about their own feelings. And it could be you. It could be you that you are bringing in that toxic relationship. So you could also look at it that, am I the one that is always controlling? Am I the one that is always selfish? Is it all about me? I don't even care about the other person's feeling. It's just about me. Do I make them my priority? You understand? Is it difficult for them to communicate? They would never apologize. And if it's you, you would never apologize for your mistake. You always believe that you are right, or the other person is always right. So if you have all these things, then it's likely that you are the one giving in, the toxic elements of the relationship, or the person is giving you the toxic elements of the relationship. So you are only going to be as good as the people you surround yourself with. So be brave enough to let go of those who keep weighing you down. And if you are the other person, I want you to look at yourself in the mirror. Are you this person that you are the toxic partner? So look at yourself first before you look at the other person. It talks about, let us not be hypocrites. Some of us can be the toxic partner. You are controlling. You don't trust anybody. It is always about you. You do not want to take, excuses. You don't want to take apologies. Everything is about you. So, but for those that is not about you, but it's about the other person, you can live a toxic relationship. But if you don't heal what attracted you to them, you will meet them again. And it's true. The same demon, just in a different person. And that is why I will always take you back to what makes a relationship. You must know yourself first. What do you want in this relationship? Who am I in the first instance? There was a particular girl that was always attracted to people that don't have ambition. What do I mean by that? People that are always all about parties. Friday party, Saturday party, even Sunday they will not even go to church. It's all about party, And when I was asking her, she said she makes the man makes me feel good, because we're always hanging out and all that and all. And I told her, I said, do you even know yourself? Do you know who you are? Is this what you want for your life? Because this man will not change. Even when you marry, the man will tell you that this was me and you married me like that. But let us even leave the man. Let us even look at you. Is this really what you want? She said, truly, it's not really what I want. At times it's draining. Why will I go to a party on Saturday, on Sunday, on Friday? Even during the week, once from work, she'll tell you that, it's happening here in this one. So it's an issue of what do you really want? Because she had not agreed on what she wanted. That was why she was able, that anybody that is jovial, anybody that is party person, yeah, let's go. So you need to look at it. Why am I attracted to these people? They are wrong set of people, but why am I attracted to them? So you really need to look at yourself first. Work on yourself first. You understand? Like somebody that of recent, she just realized that she was an angry person. Now she's working on herself. She now realized that, I don't have to be angry all the time. Any little thing, she will unfollow. She will block you on Instagram, block you. Once there's a little argument, she will just unfollow you. She will just block you. I had to tell her that this is babyish. Now she now realizes it because she can't even count her friends anymore. They're not there. She now realizes that, it's my anger. She's now working on it. She's a better person, So please wrapping up, I believe this 40 minutes or 45 minutes we spent with one another, you now know what relationship is all about, what the meanings are, what the key drivers are, how you should be successful, and then the things that fuel your relationship. Talk about your boundaries, your ethics, and the ethics that go with it. So thank you very much. I can now stop sharing. So we can go to questions and answers. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mrs. Bukola Femi-Ajala. Please, can we cross traffic in the chat box? Please appreciate her and say thank you, Ma, for coming. We really appreciate you. Please, I want to see it in the chat box. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Barrister. I'm waiting. Thank you. Thank you, goodness. I'm waiting for more. Abisoye Bello, thank you. I'm waiting for more, 2 or 3 more people. Thank you, Olabamiji. Thank you, Victoria Delani. Thank you so much, ma. Thank you, Aderunke. I can see the chat box buzzing. Was so happy. Please, I do not want us to just listen to what she has said. I want us to have a take-home word or sentences or something that you have to take home that you've learned from this class. Don't just, let us pack everything in our head, but let's remember a lot of things. She mentioned something about 5 different levels of friendship. She mentioned the strangers. She mentioned the acquaintance. Yes, she mentioned the casual friends, the close friend, the intimate. And she said it that there are some that you're put in a level of intimate that you have to bring down. They have nothing to do in your life. You don't share the same value. You're not helping yourself. It's just there. Or probably the relationship is toxic and maybe you're the only person who is, putting some things into the relationship. So, and there are some people you are put in the acquaintance level that that they actually need to move to the casual or to being a close friend. And do not forget that in a relationship, there are actually 2 ways to a relationship. She mentioned it. You have your parts to play. The person also have his or her parts to play in the relationship. Do not forget that different ingredients to prepare that relationship. So what ingredients are you putting inside? You can't be putting cake ingredients into a soup. Remember, she mentioned it. And do not forget, in a relationship, you have to be self-aware. You have to know who you are, because if you do not know who you are, you will just be, moving along with the crowd, flowing with the crowd, where you know that this person has a different direction from you and you have to leave the person. Please be aware of yourself and please understand several things that she has mentioned. I do not want us to just listen to these classes. I want us to make good use of whatever it is. Start doing it now. Start checking your life now. Based on the personality test that you've done, you understand what your personality type is. So please let us make good use of what she has mentioned. We have some questions in the chat box, and I want to say thank you to those who have chipped in some things, during the course of the class.
So I can take it. I think the first one, it says, how can one deal with somebody who does not like being corrected and also has communication problem? Now, yes, number one, I always say that first look at yourself. Are you okay? Because there's some people, you are looking at them that this person has communication problem, not knowing that maybe you are the one that has the communication problem. So when you want to say that, okay, this person has issues, first of all, look at yourself. This person that I mentioned that now realized that it was an anger issue. Anytime she talks to me, she would tell me that, he doesn't support me. He doesn't look out for my back. There's something. Until something happened and both of them had to part ways. And then she now sat back. She now said, I think I am the issue. I don't allow things, to work out. I always want to have my way. I am always the angry type. Now I am working on myself. So first things, I want you to look at you. Are you okay? Okay in the sense that it is not from you. Maybe the person is communicating and you are not getting it. That maybe it is you. You know, because when you want to talk about communication, effective communication, there is the originator, the person who is giving. There is the person who is receiving. And then in between the person who is giving and the person who is receiving, there is a gap. And at times, more often than not, there is always an issue. There's always an issue. Either it's a friendly issue or a negative issue. For instance, in Yoruba, they will say, Pele ola ko labo. What do I mean by that? You know, I can say, oh, I'm so sorry. I could say, I'm sorry. You can see my body language has shown that the second I'm sorry was not, it didn't come from my heart. So that's an interference. My body language is an interference. So you need to look at it. Are there interferences coming from you? Maybe in your own case, the person has seen you that you are just an irrational person. Or maybe the person has seen you that you're just there. You understand? And then the person now is at a point where you are now communicating with him or her. The person is seeing that irrational side of you, that who are you to talk to me? You understand? But if you're okay, you understand? Because I need to balance things up. But if you're okay and you feel that this person, you are communicating to that person and that person is not getting it, or you're trying to correct that person and that person is not getting it, then that means that there's an interference. So you need to be able to break down what that interference is. You understand? Maybe the time that you are talking to that person is the wrong time. You know, somebody is angry and you're talking to that person. That's the wrong time. It is when the person's head don't cool. You should know when to talk to that person. You should know when to engage that person in a proper conversation. So that's what I want to say to that. How can you help yourself with anger? Number one is for you to recognize that you are an angry person. Like this person, despite the fact that everybody knows that she has anger issues, she herself never came to terms until she came to terms, and now she's working on herself. So number one, you must first know that you have anger issues. Then the next thing is you now need to sit down. The Bible says somebody who is angry is a fool. And you are not a fool. So you now need to find out that what causes me to be angry? Why is it that any little thing, I'm always angry about it? What is it? You need to sit down with yourself and begin to do an exercise. All those things that you can remember that made you to be angry, start writing it down. And then now talk to yourself. Was there a better way I could have done it? Was there a better way I could have done it? Was there a better way I could have done it? And then, you know, for me, it's something that you have to pray about, because you see, it's a wicked spirit. Angry people, they dissipate hearts. They make people not to be happy, you know? So why must you be that person that dissipates hurt and pain and things that make people to cry? Why should it be you? So you also need to talk to God about it and be intentional that you have to change it. So one of the things you can do with yourself is that once you begin to note the triggers, because when you do that exercise, you will know the things that are triggering you off. Then you can always, once you want to get angry, you can talk to yourself. Oh, Bukola, no, this is not the time for you to get angry. Bukola, no, I'm not going to get angry. Why? Because you have worked on yourself. All right, so okay, so I'm trying to look at all the things. And then another thing that just occurred to me is that when somebody is angry, right, more often than not, that person wants to get his or her way. You are controlling. And that is why you tend to be angry, because you want it your way. Because when you are angry and the other person says, I don't want our anger, I beg, let me leave. So at times you want to control your discussion, and that is not too good. All right, okay, so Sister Shalakwe, you want to contribute?
Yes, thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for the detailed explanation, and I've really enjoyed this session. I just thought I should mention, last week when we were talking about the personality, I don't know if you remember, we talked about the 5 major issues about personality, talking about conscientiousness, neuroticism, degree of neuroticism, degree of openness, degree of extroversion, I remember. And I just thought to say that in this subject matter of anger, if you look at, remember, I like the fact that Bukola told us that the way out is we need to be self-aware, and that means you need to consider your personality. And if you now understand that, look, I am a melancholy, I have more tendency to have high degree of concession. What that means is that I am finicky, I am detailed, I want things my way. You will realize that you are most likely going to be susceptible to anger when people are not living up to your expectations. So people, because you have a feeling that, look, this is the way things should be, this is the way something should be. When someone is not in that level, it could even be in your level of knowledge. You may have some degree of knowledge, and you feel that these people don't know what's wrong with them. How much you just have a feeling, and you realize that most likely you can get emotional and angry. So a way out is we must leave allowance for people. A way to control yourself from getting angry is to create allowance. Leave room for people to be wrong. Don't always expect people to be very correct. Because if you have too much high expectation from all people, then you get disappointed. And then when you get disappointed, you get angry. So the way out is leave a gap to say, yes, everybody cannot be like me. Everybody may not know what I know. Leave allowance for people to be wrong. Leave allowance for people to be ignorant. However, when you find them there, take it as an opportunity to say, oh, I think it is because you don't know this. Why don't you do this? When you realize that you will carry more empathy, and instead of anger, you will see it as, okay, I need to bring light. They need to know what I don't know. So I think that can help our
Oh, absolutely. And that reminds me of perceptions. You know, there's a particular image, you know, that we use, you know, where our institute, when you look at that image, depending on your perception, you can see liar, L-I-A-R, and you can see a woman. You can see a woman. So the person who you feel that, once you're Dubai, that is their own perception. You understand? Like I always use 6 and 9. If you write 6, depending on where you stay, you can see 6 if you are where 6 is clear. And if you go the other way around, what are you going to get? You're going to get 9. So you should know that in life, there are different platforms. People see things from different things. But as a leader that you are, you want to understand, what are they seeing? Why are they seeing it this way? You know, in relationship, that's why I say you cannot control. Why are they seeing it this way? When you now understand why they are seeing it this way, if you now have a superior argument, you now make them see it your own way. For instance, this morning before this course, because you know they introduced me as an SIYB trainer. So we just finished a training for I think there were 14 people in church, you know, and I was insisting that I want them to have mentors until they are ready to finish to start their business. They are done, they've graduated. Now, some of them need about 6 months, 3 months, you know. I insisted that I wanted them to have mentors, and I was insistent. But this morning, The person who heads the whole whatever in church called me that he wants to have a conversation with me, that he's looking at it that instead of having mentors, they should have business coaches. And he explained to me, and I said, oh, that makes sense. It is a business coach they want, they need, not a mentor. So you can see, despite the fact that I was insistent, but by the time he shared that, oh, we should be looking for business coaches for them, because there's a difference between a coach and a mentor. And I know that we'll still get to that, when we talk about mentoring. All right, so another question that I see is this, and I think that should be the second to the last, and then we can round up. It says, how can one stay away from a relationship that is not adding any meaning to one's life without making such person feel neglected or feel bad that one is avoiding them? Very, very simple. Thank God you recognize that that relationship is not adding any meaning. Thank God. There are some people that don't even know. Now you have recognized it. You now want, to quit that relationship. I call this healthy, difficult conversations. You yourself should be prepared to have that conversation. You have your points, and then you call the person at the appropriate time and explain to that person. Not that I'm sorry, not that I do not like you or I do not borrow whatever it is, but I've looked at it that what we share is not going to add up. Or what we tend to, whatever relationship it is not going to work. I am going to Sokoto, you are going to Lagos. It's not going to work. So I think it's good for us to part ways here. I'm sorry if this annoys you, please forgive me, but I think it's good for both of us, because if we continue, the Bible says, can two work together except they agree? At the end of the day, it will not turn out it will not turn out good for both of us. So you must be ready to have that difficult conversation, but it must happen. And the person should not feel bad. Yes, it's painful if you quit a relationship, but time will heal. You understand? Time will heal. So that's not a big issue. So I think the last one is, good afternoon, ma'am. Thanks so much again, blah, blah, blah. I have just 2 questions. What can you do to someone who sees correction as complaining or nagging in a relationship? Like I said, look at yourself first to be sure that you are doing these things right. But if you're now doing it right, and the person is saying that, look, you are correcting, but the person is saying it as complaining and nagging. Now, like I said, perception. The person is saying it as that you are complaining and that you are nagging. So you need to let that person change the perception of you. It could be the way you deliver it. It could be the way you deliver it. I talked about communication. There are interferences. Maybe the person sees you as you are somebody that is selfish, and you're now coming to give her advice. The person will not take you like that. So you need to remove all those interferences. It could even be the way you deliver it. That you are saying, what is even your problem, Seth? Why can't you just do this thing in a proper manner? Why can't you just do this thing? I've been telling you this thing for over God knows how many years. The way you have delivered it is wrong. That is why that person is seeing it as you are always complaining. Perception. So you need to change that perception. You need to know who that person is and look at yourself. What are the interferences? Clear the interferences. And then you can now say, you know what? I want to discuss something with you. I've noticed this and this and this and this and this. And I think if you do it this way, it will be better. Because why? The way you are going about it has issues. You understand? This is your anger problem. It can destroy, it can do this, it can do that. You use examples that that person can relate with, and you deliver it in love, with concern, with empathy. Not that you are shouting down on the person and all that. And if you have done all this and the person refuses, if you feel that it's a toxic relationship, then walk away. Not be by force. Because if you say, well, I only hope this person is not married. I'm not saying walk out of your marriage. Walk out of your marriage. But even if you are married, peradventure you are married, you can always talk about it. These are things that I call difficult conversations. So at some point, you might probably bring a counselor in there. If you've tried all you need to try and you have delivered it in the proper way, in a loving manner, in a more concerned way, that you are concerned for that person. The person is saying now, but if you are the type that you just shout and say, I've told you, the person will not listen to you. It will think you are nagging. Then the last one, secondly, how do you balance the issue of different doctrinal persuasions in a relationship? Let's say you are both Christians, but different denominations. Okay, now. So if you are both Christians, the question I would want to find out is that, what is your terminology of Christians? You understand? What is your terminology of Christians? Because if you say that, I don't want to use particular denominations, but maybe in a particular denominations, they believe that they must wear an apparel, they must light the candle before they pray and things like that. And maybe your own denomination, what they do is just the word of God, speak the word of God and all that. Now, so this is where values, you must know yourself first. And what do you want? And what do you want? If that is what you want, then go for it. If that is not what you want, then you don't go for it. Because somewhere along the line, the Bible also says, can two to work together except they agree? You understand? Because at some point, where would you be able to draw the line? But if it's something that, yes, your understanding of Christianity is the same, it's just that the way he goes about it, if you can stomach it, then please go ahead and stomach it. But if you cannot stomach it, then look for the person that your values, align with one another. It's as simple as that. Let us not make it so complicated. You understand? But when love comes, we think it's difficult to walk away or whatever it is. I have seen people that, the man is a Catholic, the woman is born again. I don't know how they do it, but if it works out for them, it's fine. I will not come and say, this is the way it is. I will just give you the principles. You are the one to say, this will work for me or not. All right. I think that's about all. Or engage another person to communicate it. Okay, yes. Sashalape is saying that if you don't know how to do it, then let somebody else communicate. Yes, that's good. Thank you very much. That's good. So I think we are done, except if there's any other contribution from Sister Shalape, or if there's any other question.
No, there's no other question. Barrister Shalape, is there any other thing you want to add to it?
No. Thank you. No. Nothing from my end now.
Since we are behind schedule, so I want us to just take 2 minutes stretch break. You want to use the restroom, you want to stretch yourself from sitting, please, let's do that now in 2 minutes, please. So by 12:29, we should be back here in 2 minutes.
The only thing I would like to say is to formally appreciate Mrs. Bukola Femi-Ajala. Thank you so much, ma'am, for coming to share your depth of knowledge and insight with us. We're grateful for this great. By the way, this is part of the benefit of relationship. That we are
absolutely. This is relationship. I can tell you, because right now there is a conference going on online that I would have loved to watch, but I said, this is my sister's thing. I must be here. Is relationship. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Simbo, you're muted. We can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. So I said we have 1 minute more. We have 1 minute more for our stretch break.
Good morning, Mr. Maurice, and thank you
Good
for
morning,
covering us.
Mr. Maurice.
Oh, it's
You're
afternoon.
muted, sir.
Sorry, I need somebody to teach me how to use this thing. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone.
Oh, afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good to
Good
see you all.
afternoon, sir.
Well done.
And you too, sir.
Yes, thank you so much.
I think we have a few minutes break and then we'll be ready for the second session.
Well, that's fine.
Simbo,
All
over to
right, all
you.
right. Please, let's come back. Let's come back now. Please, let's come back now.
Do I have sharing rights?
I'll do that right away.
Okay.
All right, if you're here, please say something on the chat room. If you're here, say something in the chat room. If you're here, say something. Hello, hello, where are we? Okay, thank you, Victoria. Thank you, Paul. Says hello. Thank you. So I need 5 people for the game that we're about to do now. I need 5 people. So before I point at you, please volunteer yourself now. Volunteer yourself. I need 5 people. Okay, Demilade. Demilade said, hi, I'm here. Okay, we can see you. Who else? I need 4 more people aside Demilade. I need 4 more people. Okay, I think at this junction, since we do not have a lot of time, I'm going to be picking people myself. So Charles Bashiru. So once I call your name, please, you have to use your video. I need you to use your video for this game. We have limited time. Charles, Olabamiji, Victoria, Paul, science educator. Do I have 5 already? Please put on your video. I can see Charles already. I can see Charles smiling. I can see Olabamiji, so that's 2. Who else? Who else? Please, let's see your face. Paul, let's see your face. Victoria, let's see your face. Demilade, let's see your face. Abdul Fattah, let's see your face. Show your video for this game. Please, we do not have much time. Our facilitator for module 4 is here already, and we don't want to keep him waiting. I've seen Paul, I've seen Olabamiji, I've seen Demilade, so that's 3, and Charles. So if we don't have anyone else, then we have to go with the 4 people we have. Okay, so 4 of you, I will want you to get up from your seat, get up, give me a little shake, shake, shake. Give me a little shake, shake, shake. Get up, thank you. We are youth now, so we have energy now. So the name of my game is called Do the Opposite. Please, Barrister, I'll need your help to also please help me check some of them so that when they miss the game, we can kick them out with their legs. That was on a lighter mood. Okay, so it's called Do the Opposite. So I'm going to be telling you 3 things you will do. When I say clap, you will say your name. Are you listening, please? When I say clap,
yes.
you will say your name. When I say stand, you will squat. When I say squat, you will stand. When I say walk, you will stop. And when I say stop, you walk. So those are 3 different levels. But to get to a point, I will shuffle them. Okay, let me come again. When I say clap, you call your name. When I say stand, you will squat. When I say squat, you will stand. When I say walk, you will stop. When I say stop, you will walk. So let's practice it now before we start the game proper.
Sorry, 1 minute, 1 second, please.
Okay.
So, Maurice, please, can you stop the share for now so that we can switch the game, please?
Oh, okay, cool. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's do a trial now. A trial. Where are my people? I'm trying to see your videos. Okay. Yes. Clap.
Charles.
That was slow. I want it to be fast, like speed of light. Thank you. Stand.
Charles.
Era.
I scored
When I say stand, you squat.
I scored now. I did.
Maybe I should try it with you. When I say stand, you squat. Because of my background, I won't be able to do that. When I say stand, you squat. When I say squat, you stand. When I say walk, you stop. When I say stop, you walk. So let's try it again. Name?
Paul.
You clap. When I say name, you clap. So please, 2 more seconds or 3 more seconds for the trial, and we go straight into the game.
Goodness.
Stand. Stand.
I didn't hear you. I did not hear you.
I scored.
Can you hear me clearly?
Very well.
Yeah, I hear you.
Very well.
I didn't hear you before.
Demilade, change the position. Your network is sounding cracky. Walk. Please do me a favor also, keep your camera in a place, because when I say walk and some of you stop, your camera is still shaking. So your camera might make you lose the game. Okay, so place it somewhere and make sure the camera is facing you well so that we can see your head to toe. Okay, here we go now.
Yeah.
Name.
Paul.
Demilade got that. Okay, Alabaji got that. Okay, walk. Stop. When I say stop, you walk. Okay, let's start the game now. We don't have time. This is 12:37. By 12:40, our facilitator has to come in.
So I'm the judge, I guess.
Okay, now we want to start the game. Barrister, please help me. I can only see 3 people's video here, so in case you might see it too. I'm seeing Olabamiji. Say what, ma?
No, I can see them, don't worry.
Okay. All right. Let's start now. Clap. I'm sorry, my son is making noise on the background. Let's start again. Hey, God, enough, please. Walk. Stop.
Oh my goodness. What is stop now?
Oh my goodness.
Stop.
Wait. What
Stand.
is so?
Stand.
What?
I'm not seeing anybody squatting, only Olabamiji. So I'm going to be picking out people now, from now. Clap.
Demilade.
Charles.
Goodness, you're out. I didn't hear your name. Thank you. What's your house? Please off your video. Oh, Jesus.
Okay, so I'll be assistant.
I'm sorry, please. I have a little distraction here. Sorry. Let me use my audio alone. All right. What?
Demilade.
Charles.
Charles, you're out. When I say stand, you spot. We have people. We have just 2 people. Olabamiji and Demilade. Oh, Paul, I didn't see you before.
Yes.
Okay, clap.
Demilade.
Paul.
Squat.
Demilade.
Stand.
Stand. Squats. You squat.
Someone is out. I can't see their video very well. Barrister, can you see them?
I'm squatting. Squatting.
Barrister, can you see them?
My legs are paining me.
Walk. Stop. Walk.
What? Stop.
Clap.
Demilade.
Paul.
Name. Squat.
What did she say? I can't hear you.
Squat. Stand.
I'm lost.
Clap.
Demilade.
Name. Olabamiji, you're out. You didn't clap on time. You're out. You have Demilade and Paul alone. Sorry. Walk. Stop.
Walking.
Walking.
Demilade, you're out. You didn't walk on time. Sorry. Sorry, sweetie. So we have Paul as our winner. A round of applause for Paul.
Ooh.
So we'll see you after the class to give you your gifts.
Thank
Paul
you.
Science Educator. I hope
Thanks
you
so
have
much.
the same name on the WhatsApp group so we can know who you are.
No. My name is Oluwabisarami Paul.
Okay, just send a hi on the group now with your name so I know it's you.
Oh, okay, thank
So
you.
that someone else won't grab it.
Okay.
All right.
That's true.
So thank you very much for that game. Lovely game. It's called Do the Opposite. All right, please, I'd love to bring in our facilitator now for the next module on productivity. Productivity. Sorry, please, a minute. Okay. All right. So Mr. Maurice has had over 20 years experience working with partners in different sectors, spanning financial services, healthcare, infrastructure, development, agriculture, education, ICT, transportation, media, and oil and gas. His role has ranged from project development to sales and marketing, strategic corporate communication, research, strategic stakeholder management, human capital development, mergers and acquisition, corporate restructuring, as well as provision of advisory services to different local and international conglomerates from Asia, Europe, the United States, and across Africa. Mr. Maurice is currently Chief Executive Officer at Morana, Educator-in-Chief of the African Journal for Sustainable Development, and a founding board member of Replenish. Mr. Maurice was appointed by government to the board of the Cross River State Agriculture and Food Technology Agency between 2016 and 2019. He is an accredited international mediator, a certified transformational leader, and a member of faculty with the Institute for National Transformation. He is passionate about sustainable development that leaves the entire ecosystem better off. Please, I want you to create traffic in the chat box below right now to celebrate Mr. Maurice as he comes to talk to us on productivity. I'm not seeing anyone on the chat box. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, please create traffic right now. Okay, thank you. I can see that. So Mr. Maurice, over to you as you take us on the journey on productivity. Thank you, sir. It's good to have you, sir. Thank you, Goodness Demilade. I can see that.
Yeah, thank you, Bimbo. A pleasure to be here. I hope you can hear me loud and clear.
Loud and clear, sir.
Okay, so I'll share my screen, but I must confess that I'm using two devices. So I have my laptop on my lap, and that's what I'm sharing from. So if you see me looking down, I'm basically looking at my system because that's where I'm sharing from. Okay, so let's go. Yeah. Okay. So I see there are some people in the waiting room. So can someone help admit them?
Yes, they've been admitted, sir. They've been admitted already.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so very much. Trying to put it on presentation mode now. Okay, so thank you so much for your gracious introduction, Bimbo. Sister Shalakwe, really pleased to be here. And I'm very pleased also to welcome all the participants to this very, very interesting training program that has been put together by Value Academy. Let's give a round of applause for Value Academy. They are doing so much. Value Academy is doing so much for young people. And we trust that the impact will be far-reaching, and that those of you that are participating today are going to take the message, the core message that Value Academy is trying to entrench across society, to the nooks, to all nooks and crannies across across Nigeria and beyond. So today, we're looking quickly at essentials for productivity. The idea is for me to set you off on this journey. Hopefully, you will you'll venture to find out a lot more by personal research that you will embark on. So the curriculum, very briefly, we'll be looking at what productivity is. We'll be looking at the entitlement / reward system. We'll be looking at what productive work means and how you can engage in productive work. We'll try to more like shake or activate your creative juices. We'll be looking at the discipline of execution, leadership, time management, and then exploring again the 7 spheres of influence. I mean, I know we have about between 45 minutes to 1 hour to deal with this, so this is not enough time to do all of this. This is a lot. So this is basically introductory with the hope that you will go and find out more yourself. So what is productivity? Now, let me just ask. I want this to be engaging. So let's see who is online. Can someone just unmute and tell me what you understand by productivity? Any of the participants. What do you understand by productivity? Abigail Owolabi, are you there? Abigail. Abigail Owolabi. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir.
Yes, so what do you understand by productivity? Have you heard the term productivity before? Okay, somebody else, somebody wants to help her?
God, my effort is bad. Yes, the outcome of a process, giving a meaningful product for use, or it might come in services, but it's an outcome of a process.
Your voice isn't very, very, very loud. I can't hear you very clearly.
Okay. I said productivity means the outcome of a process, the total outcome of a process, of a particular process. It might come out in something useful for human being or its services, but it's an outcome of a process. Yes.
Excellent. Yeah, you are on the right track. Yes. So Adironke says productivity means doing. Let's read what she wrote. Productivity means doing things that brings a good result. Yeah, I like this. I like what Abigail said, and I equally like what the other person said. Well, let's check out what experts have said. Productivity is the ratio between the output of goods and services and the input of resources consumed in the process of production. So Abigail mentioned process, so I like that, and she mentioned performance. So when we talk about ratio, we are talking about 2 different things. How one compares to the other. So we're looking at the ratio of output of goods and input of raw material. So for instance, if you put 1 milk cup of gari into say 50 ml of water, what would that give you? 1 wrap of eba. You understand? But there are people that can do it such that 1 milk cup of gari will give 1.5 wraps of eba. So who would you say is more productive? The person who gives more, right? Who produces more, who uses the same raw materials to produce more finished products. Excuse me. So that's what economicsdiscussion.net said. For the OECD, Organization of for the OECD, they say productivity measures how efficiently production inputs such as labor and capital are being used in an economy to produce a given level of output. So we're basically saying the same thing. We're looking at inputs and outputs. What are you putting into a process and how efficiently are you getting results? How much results are you getting from the efforts that you make? That's essentially what productivity means. So I hope we're together. So if you understand that, can I see your hand up? Can you just wave or something if you understand what productivity means? Yeah? Okay, goodness, Ademolu, yeah? Pata Sheo, okay, good, excellent. So you understand what productivity means. Productivity speaks to the ratio of output versus input versus output. What do you do versus what do you get from what you have done? That's what it is. So in terms of entitlement versus reward system, there's nothing that I dislike like somebody that has an entitlement mindset. If you have worked for some time in an organization, you know the typical mindset of the Nigerian is that I haven't been paid. I'm not paid enough. You are not paying me well. All the complaints, but nobody is really bothered about doing the work. So you have people that want to get and get and get, but they want to give less and less and less. I've had, so much experience with this kind of mindset that just wants to get and get and get, and nobody wants to give and give and give. So the belief that one is inherently deserving of privileges or special treatment is entitlement. So for instance, somebody can say, no wonder that woman's children have a sense of entitlement. That's how the Oxford Dictionary defines entitlement. The idea or the belief that you are inherently deserving of privileges. So for instance, because I am minister for works, I should take 10% of the contracts. I should take, I should get kicked. So that is an entitlement mindset. Oh, because you are my father, you must pay my school fees. That is an entitlement mindset. Yes, your father should pay your school fees, but you are doing yourself a disservice by thinking that your father or your mother owes you anything. You are likely to do more for yourself if you think that everything your parents give you is a gift of grace. It is that kind of mindset that will propel you to do a lot of stuff for yourself. I've heard some people say, for instance, some children, I say, my parents are not treating me well. I will go and smoke Igbo, So because your parents are not treating you well, you want to go and do something bad. So the question is, who are you harming? Are you harming yourself or are you harming your parents? You're harming yourself. So the entitlement mindset is one where people think that they are deserving special treatment or privileges. On the other hand, reward is something given in recognition of what? A service that is rendered. Are we together so far? Are we together so far? So there's a difference between entitlement and the reward system. For entitlement, people think that because I am whatever, I must be given privileges and special treatment even if whether I do something good or not, I must be paid. Whether I come to work early or not, I must be paid. Whether I produce results that my boss has asked me to produce or not, I must be paid. Shebi at the end of the day, they will pay me my salary. That's an entitlement mindset. Meanwhile, reward is something given in recognition of a service render. Are we together so far? Can I see by show of hands if we are together? So what therefore is productive work? So we have looked at two concepts. We've looked at the concept of entitlement, and I'm sure you would all agree with me that even where you are, you see a lot of people with that mindset of entitlement. Oh, Nigeria owes me. Nigeria should pay my school fees. Nigeria should give me water to drink. Nigeria should do XYZ for me. Yes, that is good. Nigeria has obligations to you, but you also have obligations to Nigeria. So that is the entitlement mindset. That entitlement mindset will not allow you to be productive. So get this point, you will most likely succeed if you have a mindset that does not see yourself as entitled to anything. You don't think that anybody owes you anything, but you think that you owe yourself and you owe your community everything. It was one American president that said, do not think of what America will do for you, but think of what you will do for America. In the same vein, don't think of what Nigeria will do for you, but think of what you will do for Nigeria. If you have that mindset and you take it to your office, you take it to your business, you take it to your family, you take it to wherever it is you are at, you will succeed more than the person that thinks everybody owes me something. So let's come to productive work. What is it? And how do you engage in productive work? Now let's look at the first lesson. Productivity takes a village. The most productive people on earth recognizes that sustainable productivity takes, I want to introduce a concept that I'm sure you heard before, teamwork. In other words, you can't achieve much if you don't work with other people. So let's look at a pot of soup, typical pot of soup. Let's say egusi soup. I'm sure we all know egusi soup, right? Will the egusi alone successfully make itself soup? Can you eat egusi alone in a pot? Just buy your egusi, throw it in the pot, heat it a little and eat it. Is that egusi soup? No. To have egusi soup, what would you do? You will blend the egusi, so you need a blender. You will have a pot, so you need a pot. You will use a spoon to mix the soup. You will need palm oil. You need your seasoning cubes. You will need fish, meat, palm, depending on what you want to do, what kind of soup you want to prepare. So you need different ingredients to make one pot of egusi soup. So you cannot be very productive if you want to do everything alone. Somebody said, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go quickly, go alone. But if you want to go far, go with other people. So if you want to go fast, F-A-S-T, go alone. But if you want to go far, F-A-R, go with other people. So it takes teamwork. It takes collaboration with other people for you to be productive, for you to perform optimally. So now let's look at some discussion points. What would you say you are best at? What are you not so good at? You should know yourself. Do a SWOT of yourself. Who or which persons can complement you? What roles can you outsource? And let's look at one individual that we know very well. Let's look at Elon Musk. How many of us know Elon Musk? Can I see by a wave of hand or something? Or just type in the chat box whether you know Elon Musk or not. Yes or no? Do you know Elon Musk? Have you heard of him before? Are we together? Oh yeah, Charles Bashiru, yeah, he knows Elon Musk. Fatah Shehu, yeah, you know Elon Musk, excellent. Yes, Olabamiji Abimbola, yes, you know Elon Musk, excellent. Okay, Bridget knows Elon Musk. So everybody knows Elon Musk. Yeah, he's just been overtaken as the richest man. He was the richest. He's still one of the top 5 richest people in the world, you know, and all of that. So the question is, Elon Musk is somewhere in the US. Elon Musk runs so many companies. He has Starlinks. He has what do you call it? Renewable energy vehicles. He has, now he's running Twitter. The question is, can Elon Musk, one of the smartest people in the world today, can he do everything? Can he be at Twitter and Starlinks and America and South Africa and Nigeria at the same time? The answer is what? No. So Elon Musk is very effective because he knows what his strengths are. He knows what he's best at. He's best at envisioning. He knows how to imagine stuff. He knows how to see the vision of the future. He knows what the future can hold, the possibilities. And then he gets a team of people. He gets partners, if you will. He gets employees. He gets people that can complement him. Do you understand? So you need to also know yourself. What are you best at? Don't try to be good at everything. What are you best at? What are you not so good at? Which persons can complement you? And what roles can you outsource? Now, if you answer this question, you will be on the path to a more productive lifestyle. So in your own micro location, in your own small space, identify what you are best at. Know the things that you are not so good at. Look for people that are smarter than you that can complement you in those things that you are not so good at. And then also look at what you can outsource to other people so that you are not burning your candle from both ends. So the second thing you need to do to be productive is to get a very clear vision. I'm sure some of you may have heard of the lady Helen Keller. Helen Keller was born blind, deaf, and mute. So she couldn't see, she couldn't hear, and she couldn't speak. But hear what Helen Keller said. Helen Keller said, and I quote, "The only thing worse than being blind is having sight with no vision." Wow. This is from somebody who is blind, deaf, and mute. And she says, the only thing worse than being blind is having sight, but no vision. So it is possible for you to have sight and no vision. E.g., in Nigeria, everybody sees the problem. It seems Nigeria is a basket of problems. Too many problems. Everywhere you go, problems. Problem from Agbero, problem from police, problem from family members, problem from ancestral spirits, problem from monitoring spirits, problems everywhere, problems from NEPA, problems from taxi driver, problems everywhere. But you see, in the middle of these plenty problems are plenty opportunities. So as you are looking for visa to go to my village, I tell people, if I open an embassy to my village, I will see Nigerians that will apply for visa. Meanwhile, my village is in Nigeria. Once I publish that there is an embassy of Mbube community in Nigeria where you can apply for visa, I will find people that will pay 100,000 naira to buy visa to my village because they want to go everywhere else but Nigeria. But you see, as you want to run out of Nigeria, foreigners are trying to run into Nigeria. Why? Because we have sight, but we don't have vision. So what is vision? What is the alignment between vision and imagination? So there's a nexus, there is a link, there is an alignment between vision and imagination. And I find, to my consternation that a lot of us have killed our imagination. So remember when you were a child and they asked you, what do you want to be when you grow up? What would you say? I want to be president of Nigeria. I want to be governor of Lagos State. I want to be the richest man in the world. So that is when you were 5 years old. So when you became 12 years old, they asked you, what do you want to be? The person that said he wants to be president would drop and say, I think I will be state governor. The one that said he wants to be state governor will say, I think I want to be local government chairman. So after university, ask those same people, what do you want to be? The one that said he wants to be president in primary school will now say, anything, I just want to work. What has happened? Your imagination as you get older seems to drop. So you get so used to the challenges in the environment that you stop using your imagination. Meanwhile, your imagination is one of the greatest gifts that God has given to you. Because whatever you can see in your mind's eye, you can become. So if you allow your physical environment to dictate what you see in your mind's eye, you can't achieve much. So you need clarity of vision. So let's do a quick activity. Close your eyes for 15 seconds. Everybody close your eyes for 15 seconds. And then see yourself where you want to be in the next 5 years. Just see yourself. If you want to be sitting down with Dangote, just see yourself with Dangote. If you want to be sitting down with Elon Musk, see yourself sitting down with Elon Musk. If you want to sit down with Davido, see yourself sitting down with Davido, if that is where you want to be in 5 years. If you want to be the president of Nigeria, just see yourself sitting down in Aso Rock. Right, yes. So I encourage you, do that often. At least every day, every evening before you go to bed, picture yourself in that place that you want to be. So the third lesson for productivity is that you must become one with your role. What does that mean? You must become united with your role. So dreams are free. This is Usain Bolt. How many of us know Usain Bolt? Can I see by show of hands you've heard of, Usain Bolt? Right? Usain Bolt. One of the greatest athletes. Excellent. Demilade, Demilade knows Usain Bolt. So Usain Bolt says, dreams are free, but goals have a cost. Now, pay attention to the wording. While you can daydream for free, goals don't come without a price. Time, effort, sacrifice, and sweat. How will you pay for your goals? Now, remember that the last activity we just did was imagination, envisioning. I'd like to tell people that, you see, it is only in your dream or in your imagination that a poor, hungry man can be eating jollof rice, chicken, champagne, and ordering people around. Bring me this, go and roast goat for me. In your dream, in your imagination, you can eat for free. But make sure that you are not in MFM, because if you eat in your dreams for free, you have to go and cast out devils, right? But you see, in your imagination, you can do practically anything. You can sack Buhari. You can employ Elon Musk to work for you in your imagination. But you see, Usain Bolt now tells us the next step after that imagination and dream. He says, you can daydream for free, but when it comes to setting goals and accomplishing goals, you have to pay a price. So how do you pay that price? You spend time developing yourself. You spend effort developing yourself, like this program that Value Academy is offering you. You make sacrifices and you sweat. This is how you will pay for your goal. So you see somebody like Usain Bolt, the greatest, the fastest man in the world. There is something he does that you and I are not doing. So you can't wake up in the morning, every morning, and you are eating a bar and drinking a Feruz every day, and then you want to compete with Usain Bolt. So discussion points. Have you heard of the flow state? How can you enter the flow state, which is the sweet spot between too easy and too hard? Now, there's something called the flow state. Now, let me see by show of hands. Have you ever heard of the flow state? Show of hands. Let me see. You can type no in the chat box if you've not heard of it. And then you can type yes in the chat box if you've heard of it. How many of us have heard of the flow state? Okay, so Demilade hasn't heard of the flow state. Okay, Glory hasn't heard of the flow state. Okay, so excellent. So I'll tell you what it is. Now, you may not have heard of it, but you may have experienced it. Okay, Aderonke, I see you. Yeah, you haven't heard of the flow state. Now, the flow state, yeah, Bridget, I see you, I see you. So the flow state is that state you enter in when you begin to do your work without effort. For a car, I'm sure we all know cars. When you are driving in Lagos traffic, your car is not efficient. Your car is burning petrol in traffic, right? Your car is not working well. Stop, start, stop, start. But when you are driving on Lagos Ibadan Expressway, when the road is free, right, and you are cruising, at that point where your car is cruising, the car is in what I would call a flow state. In that state, the car is using minimal petrol, is not experiencing plenty wahala, and it is running very fast. That's the flow state. So for human beings, when you practice something so much, somebody like Usain Bolt, you practice something so much, when, for instance, you are doing that thing, you get to a place where it becomes effortless. You are just flowing. You are not exerting energy. You are just flowing. For instance, if you are running, how many of you have done any race before? You are running. And then all of a sudden, as you are running, you just find yourself relaxed in your mind. You know you are running, but you are flowing effortlessly. And that's what a flow state looks like. That state where you are exerting minimal energy, but achieving maximum performance. That's your flow state. You can enter your flow state, which is the sweet spot between too easy and too hard. Now, to get into flow, you must have practiced and practiced and practiced and practiced. So pay attention to that. Lesson 4, overcome inertia. Wayne Gretzky said something that is very important. He said, you will miss what? 100% of the shots you don't take. Now, if you think every time that, what if I fail? Oh, what if it doesn't succeed? Oh, what if Lagbaja does this to me? Hey, what if my village people pursue me? Hey, what if this? What if that? Wayne Gretzky said, you will miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So if you never try, you never achieve anything. But if you try, there is a chance that you will succeed. The guy that invented the light bulb, what's his name? Do we know the name? If you know the name of the person that invented the light bulb, can you type it in the chat box? Who invented the light bulb? Right? Who invented the light bulb? Excellent. Not Thomas Anderson, Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison. How many times did he experiment before succeeding? He experimented almost about 1,000 times before succeeding. So if he never experimented, you and I will be burning candle now. You and I will be in the dark now. But because he tried 1,000 times, we now have the light bulb and we now have light in the night. So you must overcome inertia. You must keep trying. You must keep doing. You must seek improvement. That's how you become productive. If you never try, you can never begin the journey of productivity. So what is inertia? We know what inertia is. How do rockets overcome inertia to escape the Earth's gravitational pull? And how can I apply this in my life and my work? So you know what inertia is? Inertia is that weight that keeps you in a particular place. Is that lack of mobility. So that's, that gravitational pull that holds you together in one place. So for rockets to escape the Earth's gravitational pull, they must exert a lot of energy. I'm sure you watch rockets flying out of space. You watched Elon Musk's rocket blast the other day, right? I hope you did. You see all the fuel that is expended for the rocket to move out, right? That is the level of energy that is required to escape gravitational pull. So in your own life, you must do a lot of background work. You must develop yourself. You must practice, practice, practice. You must seek improvement. You must do, and keep doing to escape that inertia, to escape the gravitational pull that holds 99% of the world's population down. I hope we are together so far. If we are together, can I see your hand up? Or you just make a comment in the chat box. Are we together so far? So lesson 5, you have to make peace with imperfection. Now, I already alluded to this earlier, but this is good for emphasis. You can never, as a human being, be 100% perfect. No. You can't be 100% perfect. Agree with your imperfection and move ahead in spite of it. Every human being is imperfect. Every human being. I am imperfect. You are imperfect. Elon Musk is imperfect. Muhammadu Buhari is imperfect. We all are imperfect, but that shouldn't keep us from making progress. All human work is imperfect because human nature is imperfect. This intrinsic imperfection of human affairs cannot be overcome by what? I want to hear you loud and clear. Can't be overcome by what? Procrastination. That's what Arnold Toynbee said. Forget your imperfection. Everybody is. Your imperfection cannot be overcome by procrastination. So agree that you are imperfect and make progress from there. Procrastination will not perfect you. Procrastination will further impoverish you. Now let's hear Michael Jordan. I'm sure we all know Michael Jordan, the greatest basketballer, one of the greatest basketballers of all time. Now listen to him. Jordan says, I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I have failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why what? I succeed. Now, this is mind-blowing. This summarizes everything that we're trying to say. We've been trying to say. Nobody is, if Elon Musk tells you what he has gone through to become who he is today, you will wonder. See the number of misses he has made in his career. See the number of losses he has made in his career. See the number of times his teammates trusted him to take the winning shots and he missed. See his failure, constant failure. And you know what he says? He says he owes his success to what? To the failures he has had in his life. So for me, I tell people, I cannot employ people to sensitive positions that have never failed before. So if you are afraid of failure, you cannot be my friend. Because you will not achieve much if you allow fear rule your life. To be productive, you must overcome fear. You must accept failure. You must accept failure because failure will teach you far more than success ever will. The most successful people are the people that have failed the most. Thomas Edison that you just mentioned. Nelson Mandela that you mentioned. After 26 years of failure in prison, 27 years, he came out and became the global icon that he is. Thomas Edison, after trying and trying and trying, the list is endless. People who succeed the most are people who fail the most. If you are afraid of failure, you can never make progress in life. I hope we are together so far. Are you paralyzed by the challenge of perfection? Do successful people focus on process or outcomes? What can you learn from this? Don't be stifled or paralyzed by the challenge of perfection. Because you are not perfect is no excuse for sitting on your butt and doing nothing. Nobody is perfect. Even Elon Musk, even Mike Zuckerberg, even, just mention them, Aliko Dangote, Tony Elumelu. Nobody is perfect. But successful people move ahead in spite of their perfection. So don't look for a day when everything will just be perfect for you. Move ahead in spite of the imperfections to achieve your objectives. I hope we are together so far. Lesson 6, act promptly. Now, Jonathan Edwards says, act promptly as soon as you feel that your mind is ripe with insight. In other words, according to John Piper, seminal ideas, far-reaching, fruitful thoughts come to us at night while we are reading, meditating, praying, walking, playing. And if you don't write them down in, very quickly, you almost certainly lost them. Have you ever, had a dream and then you wake up in the dream and you say, I had this bright idea in my dream, but I can't remember it. Have you had that before? Have you had this bright idea that you say, okay, yeah, I will do this. And you forget about it. And the next time you are scratching your head, what was it I said I wanted to do? So listen, the best thing to do when you have an idea is to write it down. The next best thing you can do is to begin to find a way to implement it. There was some time many years ago that I had this bright idea, and I saw in my mind's eye, I saw, this vehicle that was like mobile advertisement. This was many, many years ago. Many, many years ago. Maybe like 20 years ago or thereabout. I saw, I just had this idea. I can actually have like a vehicle that is a mobile advertising board. I thought about it. I didn't write it down and I forgot it. Until one day, I was somewhere on the road and I find that somebody else has implemented my idea. Act promptly. Don't be slow. When you have a bright idea, dream or inspiration, do something about it. Write it down. Begin to investigate what you can do about it. Act promptly. How can you begin to act promptly the next time you have an idea? Are we together so far? Are we together so far? Can I see by show of hands if we are together? Are we together or have I lost you? Oh, excellent. Goodness, I see you. Okay, Victoria, I see you. Excellent. Okay, very good. So lesson 7, yes, Demilade, I see you. Chop a little every day. When I say chop a little, I don't mean go and chop shaki and pamo, right? I'm talking about cut a little every day. Do small bite sizes every day. Now listen to John Piper, one of the people I read and I listen to, John Piper. He says, we need to be deeply persuaded that steady small chops with a good sharp axe will almost certainly, after a few hundred blows, bring down a very big tree. Exactly, bite-sized actions, excellent. Bite-sized actions. So nothing changes anything more than that drip, 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 drip effect that you see. One day, somebody had a plumbing problem in his house, and then the tap was just dripping, drip. Have you had that in your house? Where the tap is just dripping water, drip, 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 drip. And he said, okay, it's just a drip, little drip. Yeah, I will go out down the road. I will go to the market. I will go on such and such a place. And when I'm done, I'll come back and fix this little drip, drip, drip problem. You know what happened? After a few short hours, the man came back to his house and the whole house was flooded. Why? Because of what? Drip, drip, drip. If you are consistent, like that drip, 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 no matter how small the drip is, once you are doing something consistently, drip by drip by drip, over some time, over a predetermined time, that whole house will be flooded. That thing you are doing will be successful once you know how to drip, drip, drip consistently. So the most successful people are not people that do big ticket transactions once. They do little transactions over a sustained period of time. They have learned to do things properly, well, little by little by little. So in everything they do it well. And that's how they become a success. Drip, drip, drip. Never forget it. Can you cut down an Iroko tree with the first blow of your cutlass? If I give you a very sharp cutlass, very sharp, sharpened with engine, and I say, Demilade, cut down this Iroko tree with one blow, bang! Are you going to succeed at it? Yes, can I hear your feedback? Can you cut down an Iroko tree with the first blow of your sharp cutlass? No, it can't happen. Not even with the first blow of your chainsaw. You can't. Yeah, Olabamiji. Glory, yeah. No, you can't do that. No, you can't. Bridget, I see you. Right? So what do? You keep cutting and cutting and cutting. So for whatever it is you choose to do, if you are in school, if you are in business, you are working, whatever assignment you have, once you know how to do bite sizes every time, consistently, the operating word there is consistently, systematically, you drip, 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 your Iroko tree will come down. Never forget that. Lesson 8, get excited about the future. Apostle Paul says, forgetting what lies behind, I press forward to the goal of the high calling of God in Christ Jesus. So forgetting what lies behind, you push on. Some of us are too historical. We are too steeped in history. We don't see enough of the future. You should see more of the future, learn from the past, but focus on the future. So why are car rear view mirrors smaller than the windshield? You see your car, the windshield is very large, but the rear view mirror is what? Very small. Why? Because you need to only look at the back, look at the past for guidance, but live in the future, live in the present, while you take guidance from the past. Focus more on the future. The future holds more promise than the past. Don't forget that. So now, we would trying to move my slide now. Okay. Yeah. So creativity. How do you provoke and sustain creativity? Nigerians are very creative people, right? You look at the music industry, you look at the comedy sector, You look at the movie industry, Nigerians are creative. So mindful observation, practice dreaming, look at problems from different scenarios, and pitch your ideas. So these are some of the things we'll be looking at, right? These are some of the things we'll be looking at. So what is mindful observation? Mindful observation means you are not just staring blank at something. You are paying attention to the undercurrents that drive to the huge deposits below the surface that, oh, I have 2 more minutes. Oh yeah, I didn't know that time was, okay. So mindful observation means pay attention, practice dreaming. Remember, we practiced visioning and dreaming. Look at problems from different scenarios and be able to pitch your ideas. We don't have too much time. The 4 disciplines of execution, we're talking about how to do now. The first one is focus on the most important things. So the key there is focus. The second is act on the lead measures to leverage. Keep a compelling scoreboard to engage and create a cadence of accountability. So to explain very quickly, look for the most important things in every situation. What is most important? That's what you should focus on. Look for the key drivers to leverage. What is that thing I can do to bring down the Iroko tree? One thing I can do. That's what you should focus on. Keep a compelling skiboard. Have records. Write down, keep records, and be accountable to someone. These are the 4 disciplines of execution according to Franklin Covey, right? Pay attention. So I doubt that we have time for leadership skills and time management, but if I'm to summarize, leadership skills, you have to be an active listener. What does it mean to be an active listener? When you are listening to someone, there is a way to listen actively. Ask questions. Write down. Give feedback, right? Don't be like that man and woman. When the man is saying something, the woman is already calculating how to counter it. When the woman is saying something, the man is already calculating how to, no, there's no communication like that. We must listen attentively, ask questions to make sure we understand exactly what the person is saying. Empathy is key. As a leader, you must be empathetic. Put yourself in other people's shoes. You should be able to communicate clearly, even the most complex ideas. You must develop your strategic thinking skills to think strategically, go and research what that means. You must be creative. That's part of leadership. You must be able to inspire and convince other people to do what they otherwise would not do on their own. And then you should be very flexible, right? So time management strategies, know how to spend your time, know how much time you spend, set priorities, use a time, management tool, planning tool, get organized, schedule appropriately, delegate, get help from other people, stop procrastinating, and stop wasting time. So very quickly, there are 7 spheres of influence: family, education, religion, governance, business, entertainment, and media. So in summary, to be productive, you must develop yourself. You must put pressure on yourself. To put it in somebody else's words, judge other people from your heart, but judge your own self from your head. Be more hard on yourself than you are on other people. So, okay, so that's about it. Do we have feedback, questions, comments? I'm done. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Maurice. Please, can we appreciate him in the chat box? Please, let's do. These are the kind of words that I know that you will be, you have to pay for. I know what I'm talking about. I work with a consulting firm and I know what it takes to just come for emotional intelligence alone. I know how much you spend. So getting this, on a platter of gold, I would say, please let's appreciate him, please. For those who understand what this is all about. I know for some of us youths, when you learn something, maybe when you know about empathy and you want to tell the whole world, empathy skill, you start charging people, yeah, 5,000, I'll go for my training and this, and we're getting this on a platter of gold. It's something to really appreciate them for. Thank you, goodness, for that dance and that multiple clap. So good. So please, if you have questions for Mr. Maurice, please put it down in the chat box. I know there should be questions. There must be questions. You should have questions on productivity because he has mentioned that you cannot just be, one thing I pick in one of the things he said is one thing I've always said that, you have to be result oriented. Don't just tell me you're busy. I'm working, and no result is showing. So and then he also mentioned to us that, we have to do some things to get ourselves out of that inertial state. As a human being, you practice, you go for training, you continue to practice more and more. And that's where you get into your own flow charts. I think that's what you said. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's your flow state. Yes, that's your flow state. You ensure that you continue to practice and practice. So please, I need questions. There must be questions. Oh, okay. Someone said he has a lot of explanations to do, but we understand time doesn't allow. Yes, I wish we could give more time to Mr. Maurice, but please let's ask our questions. I'm waiting for questions. If not, I'm going to call you to ask your questions. That's what they call by force questions. Okay. So I'm going to call you to ask questions. You should have questions. So let me just, give Mr. Maurice a question until the time that I'll wait for those.
Mrs. Adeleke, sorry to invite you. You can also take contributions and comments. So for those who also, maybe they have things in their heart that it's not quite like a question, but they want to express, they can also, they can raise their hands and we'll give them.
Okay, all right. You can hear what Barrister said. If you have comments, you have anything on your mind that you want to share with Mr. Maurice, please let's put it down. You can raise your hand if you want to say it yourself. Okay, while we're waiting, Mr. Maurice, there's a question I've always got from people, and it has to do with procrastination. I've had a lot of people say that I have a lot of things that I do. I know how to do a lot of things, but each time I want to do them, I get to procrastinate. I open my eyes and I realize that, oh, time has gone. Some people would tell you that I have an idea when I was at the age of 20 and now I'm 30. I keep saying I would do it. What would you have to say to those people? What do they need to do to actually get themselves out of that state? Thank you, sir.
Okay, what I will say is I will borrow from Nike. Just do it. Think about it. You learn to eat by what? By eating, not by reading how to eat. You learn to walk by walking. A child learns to walk by walking. You walk and you fall. You walk and you fall. So to get out of inertia, just do it. You can't talk yourself into doing it. Just be ready. All those things I highlighted. Deal with fears. Deal with your fears. Deal with the fact that you can never be perfect. Deal with the fact that you can fail. Do you understand? Deal with all these issues and just do it. Just do it.
Wow.
Just do it.
Wow. Thank you very much.
Just get up now and do it, even if you fail.
So that's our watchword now. Just get up and do it.
Just get up and do it.
Just get up and do it. Okay. I think we don't have questions and comments. I think maybe it was so explanatory that people want, okay, I'm seeing a message. Okay, all right. Someone said, Shehu said, as an entrepreneur, what happens if you easily lose interest in ideas?
What happens if you can't be an entrepreneur and lose interest in ideas. They are two diametrically opposed things. Entrepreneurs are ideas people. You understand? The concept of entrepreneurship means, that fellow that wants to beat a new path, that wants to do something new, that wants to add value somewhere, that wants to either improve on existing stuff or that wants to do new things. So the entrepreneur is one who should ordinarily be a lover of ideas. So you cannot not like ideas and see yourself as an entrepreneur. You just have to be an ideas lover. You may not buy into all ideas, but think. If you are doing, so as an entrepreneur, you are either adding value to something that is existing, or you are producing entirely new stuff, right? So for both sides of the service or productivity side, you must love ideas. Ideas will help you improve. Ideas will help you build new products. You cannot say you are an entrepreneur and you are not a lover of ideas. You must love ideas.
Okay, thank you, sir. Sorry to cut you, sir. The person twisted the question again. He said, I mean, you want to start a business, but you keep feeling this idea is not good enough and you keep changing them.
Aha. So what you do, if you want to start a business and you have an idea, the first thing you do is to research the viability of that idea. So technically, it is called doing a pre-feasibility study. Pre-feasibility means you have an idea that I want to bottle groundnuts. I want to bottle, what do you call it now? I want to pack groundnuts in pure water sachets. You understand? Something crazy like that. I want to package groundnuts in pure water sachet. What should you do to know whether that will sell or not? You just simply go to the street and ask people, if I package groundnuts in pure water sachets, will you buy it? You understand? So it is that market information that should inform your decision, your next decision. If most people say they will not buy it, jettison it. You understand? But the mistake we make in Nigeria is that somebody has a bright idea and just go ahead to do it without finding out from the market whether the market wants it. So the best thing to do is to start from the market. You have an idea, go and ask the market if they will buy that your idea. At what price will you buy that my idea? What kind of packaging will make you buy that my idea? Where should I sell to make the idea accessible to you? Do you understand? When you ask all those questions and you go to the market and speak to potential buyers, whatever information you distill from that market study should inform your next line of action. So always test your ideas with the realities of the market. If the market says they will buy, go ahead and do it. If the market says they want modifications, make the modifications. I hope I've answered your question.
Okay, thank you, sir. I think Advocate Barrister wants to say something. Barrister, I can see your hand.
Thank you so much, Mr. Maurice, for this exciting session. I must tell you, I've been awoken again to the concept of productivity, and I feel a bit pained that we don't have enough time to go through the entire class, because I know that there's quite a lot we're learning from that. But I just want you to speak briefly to the slide. I thought that you have a slide on the 7 spheres of influence. I presume you were trying to explain that with the concept of productivity, so that I don't know how you intend to merge that, but I'm interested. I'm seeing that there are no questions. I just feel maybe you should speak to that.
Okay, so yeah, so let me try and go to that slide. Okay, just give me a second. Okay, so these are the 7 spheres of influence, right? You can break up every society into these 7 spheres. So you have the family, you have the educational sphere, you have the religious sphere, you have the governance sphere, you have the business sphere, the entertainment sphere, and the media sphere. Now, it is important for productivity, it is important that you identify your sphere of influence. You identify the sphere that you want to play in. So some people are called to the family sphere. Some people are called to education, to solve problems in education. Some people are called to solve problems in the religious sphere. Some people are called to solve problems in the governance sphere. Some people are called to solve problems in the business sphere. Some people are called to solve problems in the entertainment sphere, and others to solve problems on the media sphere. So know where your passion is. You are most likely to succeed if you are operating in your line of passion. I'll give an example. What will happen if you try to make a fish live in the most expensive mansion in Banana Island? You put that fish in a mansion and you put the fish, on a waterbed. Remember, waterbed has water inside, but you put the fish on an expensive waterbed. What happens to the fish? The fish dies. Why? Not because the environment is not expensive enough, but because it is in the wrong environment. So as a person, you will struggle if you are not in that environment you are created for. We are each created to solve specific problems. Some people are created to be entrepreneurs. They have this drive for business, for entrepreneurship. They will do very well there. But if you take them to media, they will struggle like that fish that is out of water. So understand where your passion is and direct all your energies to to understand that sphere, that location, and to solve problems in that sphere. Sister Shalakwe, I hope I have answered that question briefly. Just to introduce them to the spheres of influence and to make them focus where their interest lies.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Okay, all right. So you can help close the slides so we can see, so I can see them. Thank you very much, sir. All right, I can see there is no more question in the chat box. All right, thank you very much, sir. It's so lovely to have you, and we've learned a lot from you today, and we know that we're going back home to work on some of the things you've said. Like, you've talked about those who have ideas, they don't know what to do with them. Now we can look at the 7 sphere of influences and see, okay, maybe, I can give an example of some of my people. I've had somebody who is, not very good when it comes to, okay, let me give the example since, you can help somebody. I have a couple who the wife is in business. She's very good with business, but the husband is somebody who started up by saying that God has called me, this and that, but they were struggling to eat, and it's the wife that was doing everything. So at a point, because of that, the husband had to join the woman in business, but he noticed he was struggling with every aspect of that business. He was struggling. So it got to a point after they noticed that they were going to be kicked out of where they live and they have to do something. So the man had to look for a job. So at some point, the wife had to realize that the husband was actually good in the corporate line. In the corporate space, the husband is actually very wonderful there, because from school he has been someone who loves to talk to people, talk to the crowd. But the wife is good with business. She can market anything, she can sell anything. So based on the 7th sphere of influence, actually make us to understand that if you're not in the right sphere, you can it can look to you like you're not productive. You're doing everything it takes, but you're not like my boss will say, be result oriented. You're working, you're struggling, but there's no result. So it might be that you need to change your sphere of influence, to change your environment or something. So it's something that I actually, because I'm one of those people who struggle with marketing and businesses. So I'm not really that marketer and all that. So this is an opportunity for us to learn. Like the person who says, I have an idea today, another one I jump to it tomorrow. But if you understand the aspect in which you have solutions to solve their problem, go ahead and solve it, so you stop shifting from one idea to another. So lovely, such a lovely time. I always look forward to listening to you. Actually, I always attend Value Academy plenty times, because I'm one of the team members anyway. So it's good. So if we do not have any question for Mr. Maurice again, can we just please put in the chat box and appreciate him one more time one more time, because from today we know that we will be productive in all that we do. All right, so I'm sure, I don't know if Mr. Maurice has assessment for us. Do you have assessment for us, sir, so we can send it to
he
them?
does. I have sent it to the WhatsApp group, the Google Forms. I was just going to say that. Both assessments for
I'm
Module
seeing that.
3 and Module 4 have been forwarded to your WhatsApp group. Please, you're expected to go ahead, quickly address them. Don't procrastinate. Do it now, and then let's have your feedback. Remember,
Just
your
do it.
feedback is critical. Just do it. Just do it. Do it. No saying I'll do it later. Do it right now. That's the way to make progress and be productive. So we look forward to getting your feedback. Thank you. Mrs.
All right.
Adeleke, please, you can.
All right. So in the absence of questions, we also have our feedback form. Please, we would love for you to fill them. It helps us to know, how we are serving you better and then what we need to do more. So please, we'll be sending the feedback form as well, the Google form. We'll be sending it, so please help us fill that form. And any other thing you need to still do on the group, if you know that you're not on the group one way or the other, please let us know, signify now, so we can send you the WhatsApp link to join. And if you're there already, please do not forget the brain test you were sent, the personality test. It is for your own good. Remember, advocates mentioned it to us today. There are some people who are melancholy, and the way they want things done might affect other people. So if you understand yourself, you know why you get angry or why you do what you do. And in that way, you can help other people, you can help see that this is why people are perceiving me this way. So please, let's do the personality test and all of that test. It is for our own good. Please, let's do it. Okay, in the absence of questions, answers, and other information, please, I would want us to please, we have 100 plus, 130 something on the WhatsApp group, and I'm seeing, between 20, 25